Hey everybody, welcome back to the Cat Lady Chronicles. If you're new here, welcome to the Cat Lady Chronicles. And in this walk-in vlog, we're going to talk about life after addiction, life in recovery, and some things that probably need to be discussed. It might be an uncomfortable conversation that if you need to have it, let's have it today. Let's have it here. This is your safe space to talk about things that matter to you, but other people might not understand. All right, well, that was exciting. You see Oscar back there. He's back there because the car was coming, and so I pick him up. And the car creeps on by nice and slow and easy like, and he just freaks the fuck out over it. Like, kicks the shit out of me. I've got back claws that dug into my sides. There might be injuries. All right, I might need some major surgery after that. Oh, I think I've lost 6 pints of blood or something. Like he dug. All right. So as many of you know, I'm an addict in recovery. I'm a very grateful addict in recovery. I lived in active addiction most of my adult life and put my kids through some shit. I ain't gonna lie, there's no beating around the bush. No matter what your drug of choice is, if it's liquid, if it's a powder, if it's a pill, if it's something that goes up in flames, it didn't affect just us. And that's been on my mind. I've had some talks with some my girls, my daughter, and my goddaughter, and we can't change what happened. We can't change the past, no matter how much we wish we could. No matter how many spells are cast. No matter how many crystals we rub. We can't change the past. It's done. And everybody says, oh, let it go. You don't live there. And I do. I do not live there anymore. But I can't completely let it go either. This is the part nobody ever talks about. So I'm going to talk about it. Letting something go means, to me, that it no longer exists. It never happened, and you'll never speak of it, and it won't come into your mind. That's not quite how things work. I mean, there's a lot of stuff I wish I could forget, but I can't. And I just have to live with it. I have to learn how to live with it. Where did Oscar go? He just went on back home. He is mad at me today, y'all. I made him come out the side. He was laid up in air conditioning. I'm digressing. So, what I've had to learn how to do, because there was a lot of things, okay? I was a wreck, a mess, for between the time I was a teenager until I was about 40. And I never considered until the last few years how much that affected my children, my family. You know, the friends I had weren't real friends anyway, so they don't count. Those important relationships were damaged. And they were not damaged beyond repair. I want you to take this away from that. If you're still going through things with your family on either side of that coin, it can get better. It takes work for both parties. It's not all on just one person, because the people we harmed have to do their work to resolve their own stuff. But we have to do our part with that too. And I called my daughter a couple days ago, and I apologized, not for the first time, but I felt like I needed to. We talked. And y'all, there are moments in a mother's life, the first time you hear your baby's voice, the first time your baby says, Mommy, he's like, Mommy. And when they're grown-ups and they say, Mom, I'm proud of you, that is, I can't use words to describe the feeling. It's like a balloon blows up in my chest. And there's Oscar. Where the hell have you been? And, see, we've got Oscar. But, it took a lot for me to get here. I couldn't do this. This just wasn't, I think I'm going to call her today and apologize for, driving her through a tornado. And I had to do a lot of me work first. You call it what you want. Shadow work is a common term for those that are familiar with steps. This is some step work. And it's important for us. It made me feel good to say, I'm sorry for doing that. It made me feel good because I know that's never going to happen again. I know I am spiritually fit today. I know I can live without those chemicals. And I never, ever have to do it again. There was some part of me that was broken. It's not broken anymore. And I see people, friends, acquaintances, whatever, that aren't resolving those past things. They don't see their actions as harmful to their families, to their friends. So they keep doing it. And even the ones that don't do it, sometimes they still don't see their own part in the situation, their contribution to the stew. And it never gets resolved. The children still have these feelings that hurt them, and it's hard for them to resolve because mom and dad are over here pretending that it was fine when it was never fine. So it's important. We have to, at some point in our recovery, you know, I'm looking at, what was my December 15th, 2017 is my clean date. And I don't know when I started looking at these different events, these different things, and saying, okay, this was my part. This is what I did. There's some step work I did somewhere in there with a date on it. That's not important. What is important is that I had to stop ignoring it. I had to stop sugarcoating it for myself. I had to stop lying to myself and telling myself everything was fine. This was just a normal Tuesday. The fuck it was not. It was anything but a normal Tuesday. It was normal for an addict in active addiction, but by normal people's standards, it did not measure up. And it wasn't just one event. I mean, there was a lot, you know. I mean, I lost my kids for a fucking reason. And now I've accepted I cannot change, but I've also accepted my role, and I have accepted that version of me did those things, and this version of me does not do those things. So this version of me does not have to go back and do that thing over again, ever. This version of me lives happy, joyous, and free. And it's awesome. I feel so much lighter. You know, I just talked to her yesterday, but it was like this huge weight just got lifted off of me. Not when she told me she was proud of me. Yes, that felt good, but it was lifted when I said, I am so sorry for doing this. You know? And I tell you what I did. I drove her through a fucking tornado. Both my kids. My God, what was I thinking? I wasn't thinking. Instinct and addiction, this demon inside me was doing the driving that night. We made it. But it's important that when we let stuff go, it just means you're letting go of who you were when you did those things. It doesn't mean this is erased from your mind. It doesn't mean it's erased from their minds. They can pull you back. Other people that are tied to the situation can pull you back into it too. And it's up to you how to respond. You can either resolve those issues or you can ignore it and see how that works out for you. See how well you're getting along with people, the people that you need to fix things with. See how you're getting along with them after you've ignored it for 20 years. There's probably going to be some things, just saying. But that's what I wanted to talk about. in this vlog. It's gonna be short too because my battery's on like 18%. But I really felt like I needed to talk about this today. And I mean, yes, this channel is about women's health, but women's health includes women's spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical health. You know, if one thing's out of whack, some more shit's probably got out of whack too. And when you're trying to learn how to live a whole new life at 40, when you're single, you're on your own for the first time in a lot of years. It's hard. That's hard, y'all. Give yourself a break. You know, take a beat. Take a moment whenever you can. And I'm not saying live in the past. But if something comes to your attention, it's coming to your attention for a reason. It's because you need to resolve things. You need to make some peace with whoever is involved in the situation. If it might result in harm for yourself or another person, probably don't do that. You're going to have to figure out something else. Prayer works real well. But if at all possible, reach out to that. You know, first reach out to yourself. Forgive yourself for those things. And then accept that you don't have to be that anymore. And then go tell them, hey, you know what? This was a really fucked up thing I did. And I want to make it right. Things get better. You start feeling better. When you feel better, you do better. And when you do better, you do more. And you go further. And then guess what? You're taking vacations with your kids and it's the best time ever. And then all of a sudden you don't have enough money and you can't take that vacation. And you just want to cry. But that's okay. It's okay. As long as you fix what happened then. Fix the things in your heart. Make those amends. At least make the gesture. It gets a lot better. And you can handle how horrible that you can't take a vacation. It's not a big deal anymore, is it? All right, y'all. My battery's running dry. I'm going to start rambling even worse here in a minute. If you've made it this far in the video, don't leave without saying hello. Drop a clean date. If you have a clean date, you know what a clean date is, drop yours. Let's support each other. Let's celebrate, man. We are so much better now than we were then. Let's give each other some, let's snaps and some kudos or whatever we're going to have to call them. If we're going to do, let's give yourself a round of fucking applause. You deserve it. You fantastic, beautiful, bad bitch. I love you so much.